river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul.
Hi everyone, welcome to Rescue the Perishing Children's Bible Story. Our scripture reading is Psalms 100 verse 3. Know ye that the Lord, He is God. It is He that has made us, and not we ourselves. We are His people and the sheep of His pasture. Today we have an exciting program for you. I hope you continue to share the video. Firstly, I want to show you a place that I met some sheep. Do you like sheep? You know that female sheep is called eels and a male sheep is called a ram. Sheep are herbivores, which means they eat plants, vegetables and grass. Sheep typically exist in grassy plains and mountains. Sheep are incredibly and have the ability to do simple problem solving. They are compared to the same intellectual level as dogs. A mother sheep will be able to recognize her young from their own unique call or bleat. Hi everyone, we are making oatmeal cookies. Do you like cookies? That's right. First, we are taking my processor, processing the oatmeal to get it back. Here's my oatmeal. we are going to blend. Because our dates is our sweetener. We are going to blend it with some ginger inside. This is our sweetener we are making. Then you throw some oil. Now here we have our coconut cookie mix. Then you grease a pan and then you put it thick like this and you bake it for 45 minutes at 350. This is our cookie. Enjoy.
Hi boys and girls, it's me again, Auntie D. And today we will be making a sheep. Yes boys and girls, a sheep. Now this is the things that you need. You will need a sheet of paper. If you want the sheep to be bigger than this, you can use 2 or 3. You will need safety scissors, color pencils, markers or crayon, glue, palette sticks of different size. You can use the bigger ones for bigger sheep and the smaller ones for smaller sheep. You can also use toilet paper, cotton if you don't have. You can use pillow stuffings. My sheep I made, I used toilet paper. But today I will be using pillow stuffings. So are you ready boys and girls? Let's begin. Now you see this sheet of paper here? Guess what we are going to do? We are going to take it and we are going to crump. Squeeze it really tight. Yep, you heard me correct. Yep. That's our sheep. Ha! No boys and girls, we are not finished. Now what you will do, you're going to take your glue and you're going to put all over it. So let's put all over our paper. Make sure that you have all over the paper, right? Then you will take your toilet paper. Let me show you, if you're using toilet paper, what you can do. Toilet paper, you apply, you can split it in two, whereby you can get so much more out of it. And you can take a little piece, you can curl it up, and you can stick it on the piece of paper. You can do the same with cotton ball as well. But I will be using pillow stuffings. So let's start, boys and girls. Start sticking. Just want to squeeze it down right there like that, and make sure that it doesn't come off of it, right? Not the under piece, just on top. You rest it down, and now we are going to draw the face where we are going to stick this here. So let me just put this here so you can have an idea of what it's going to look like. So we're going to draw the face. Then we're going to draw the ears. Right? And we are going to put eyes. And here's where you start coloring, boys and girls. First, you just put the eyes here, and you're going to color this part black. Same for this side. And you're leaving this side, the inside white, and you are coloring where I put the X. All here will be black. Okay, so let's start coloring, boys and girls. You guys are doing a great job. This reminds me of a verse in the Bible that says, Jesus is the good shepherd, boys and girls. We are his sheep, and he said, his sheep hear his voice and will follow him. Could you imagine that, boys and girls? We will hear his voice and follow him. Also it is said, know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pastures. God is wonderful, boys and girls. We are his people and the sheep of his pastures. Okay, now it's time to cut. Remember, boys and girls, to get help from mommy or daddy or an adult when it's time to cut if you don't have your safety scissors. You guys are doing a great job, boys and girls. We are almost there finishing cutting. Great job. Right, so you're going to turn it over. You're going to take your glue. You're just going to put little bits in the back, not much. And you are going to stick it on top of your toilet paper, your cotton, or your pillow stuffings. And so you have yourself a very, very, very little sheep. If you want, and you want to have feet, you can cut your palette sticks, or you can stick them both. You can stick it like this, so you will see the back and the front of it. But I didn't stick any, so you can just have it flat, or you can use your palette stick like I said and stick it on the back and the front, so you can see both front and back of the feet. Guys, seeing that properly? Alright. If not, you can just have your sheep just like this. Also, boys and girls, you can make sheep out of toilet paper roll. Look what I mean. Out of toilet paper roll. So, boys and girls, I am so glad that you took the time to spend this craft time with me, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope your sheep looks as beautiful as mine, or perhaps even much more beautiful. And whenever you have time at home, you can make so much more. Bye!
Lord, if we could, we will fill our hands appreciated the wonderful things that you've given us. Then we will lift them up and give them right back to you. Everything I am,
Everything I am,
everything I do,
everything I do,
I give it to you, Lord,
I give it to you, Lord.
and do it thankfully.
Sincerely,
Every song I sing, every praise I bring, everything I do,
it's a gift to you.
everything
Everything I am,
all you've given me,
are you giving me?
I give it to you, Lord,
I give it to you, Lord.
and do it thankfully.
Thankfully,
Every song I sing, every praise I bring, everything I do,
it's a gift to you.
Then Jacob went on his journey and came unto the land of the people of the east.
And he looked, and behold, a well in the field. And lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks. And a great stone was upon the well's mouth.
And thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in his place.
And Jacob said unto them, My brethren, whence be ye? And they said, Of Haram are we.
And he said unto them, Know ye Laban, the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him.
And he said unto them, Is he well? And they said, He is well. And behold, Rachael, his daughter, cometh with the sheep.
And he said, Lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the sheep should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them.
And they said, We cannot until all the flock be gathered together, and until they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep.
And while he yet spake with them, Rachael came with her father's sheep, for she kept them.
And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachael, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachael and lifted up his voice and wept.
And Jacob told Rachael that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, When Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things.
And Laban said to him, Surely thou art my bone and flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month.
And Laban said unto Jacob, Because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel.
Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
And Jacob loved Rachel, and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I gave her to thee, than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me.
And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him about a few days, for the love he had to her.
And Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place, and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter, and brought her to him. And he went unto her.
And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said unto Laban, What is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve thee for Rachel? Wherefore hast thou beguiled me?
And Laban said, It must not be so done in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn.
Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years.
And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also.
And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years.
And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren.
And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, Surely the Lord had looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. And she conceived again, and bare a son, and said, Because the Lord had heard that I was hated, he had therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon.
And she conceived again, and bare a son, and said, Now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi.
And she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, Now will I praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left bearing. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob, Give me children, or else I die. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, Am I in God's stead, who had withheld from thee the fruit of the womb?
And she said, Behold my maid, Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife. And Jacob went in unto her.
And Bilhah conceived, and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, God had judged me, and had also heard my voice, and had given me a son. Therefore call his name Dan.
And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son.
And Rachel said, With great wrestling have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali.
And Leah saw that she have left bearing. She took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, A troop cometh. She called his name Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son.
And Leah said, Happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, Give me, I pray thee, for thy son's mandrakes. And she said unto her, Is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband? And wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also? And Rachel said, Therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes.
As Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, Thou must come in to me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes. And he lay with her that night.
And God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived, and bare Jacob the fifth son. And Leah said, God had given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Issachar.
And Leah conceived again, and bare Jacob a sixth son.
And Leah said, God had endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun.
And afterward she bare a daughter, and called her name Dinah.
And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her, and opened her womb. And she conceived and bore a son, and said, God had taken away my reproach.
And she called his name Joseph, and said, the Lord shall add to me another son.
And it came to pass, when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Jacob said unto Laban, Send me away, that I may go unto mine own place, and to my country. Give me my wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go, for thou knowest my service which I have done thee.
And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thy eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that the Lord had blessed me for thy sake. And he said, Appoint me thy wages, and I will give it.
And he said unto him, Thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle was with me. For it was little which thou hast before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude. And the Lord had blessed thee since my coming. And now when shall I provide for mine own house also?
And he said, What shall I give thee? And Jacob said, Thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing for me, I will again feed and keep thy flock.
I will pass through all thy flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats. And for such shall be my hire, and shall my righteous answer for me in time to come, when it shall come for my hire before thy face. Every one that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me.
And Laban said, Behold, I would it might be according to thy word.
And he removed that day the he-goats that were ring-streaked and spotted, and all the she-goats that were speckled and spotted, and every one that had some white in it, and all the brown among the sheep, and gave them unto the hand of his sons.
And he said 3 days journey between himself and Jacob. And Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flocks.
And Jacob took him rods of green poplar, and of hazel and chestnut tree, and peeled white streaks in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he had piled before the flocks in the gutters in the watering trough, when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink.
And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle, ring-streaked, speckled, and spotted.
And Jacob did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks towards the ring-streaked, and all the brown in the flock of Laban. And he put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not unto Laban's cattle.
And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods.
But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's and the stronger Jacob's. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants and manservants, and camel and asses.
See you next time. I hope you enjoy our program
I've
today.
got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul.